Here's an immediate tweet for you, just to show that we're impartial on this show. This is from at Gateway Patriot, a question for Michael Moore. You've benefited personally greatly from capitalism, yet you're one of its biggest critics. How do you square that?
Isn't that amazing? I mean, really, I'm here talking against my own interests.
Yeah, what's the matter with you?
What's wrong with me?
You crazy man. It's a good point.
So
I mean, you're in the 1%, right?
I'm not in the 1%, no, but I am, yes.
Probably 0.2%.
No.
You're one of the most successful filmmakers in the country.
No, I'm not. For a documentary filmmaker, I do very well.
Well, now you're splitting hairs.
Well, no, there's a big difference between a documentary and Avatar.
I want to establish you. Yeah, there is.
Okay.
There is.
So don't. I'm not that. But let me just say that
because there are people watching.
No, I feel blessed.
Michael Moore,
I have a high school education.
Rich guy.
I'm able to do what I want to do, and I have the money to make my films in exactly the way I want to make them. I don't answer to anyone. I can't be bought, because these people have spent $10 at the movie theater to go buy tickets to my movies, or $3 at the old Blockbuster when there was a Blockbuster. And as a result of that, I get to keep making these movies. But here's the thing, because I've had a peek behind the curtain. Because these books I write, these movies I make, are made for essentially large corporations. And the only reason they allow this to happen is because I make them a lot of money. And
yourself.
And no, they don't want me actually to have any money. I'm a dangerous person with a lot of money. Because the fact that I make money, what am I going to do with my money? Spend it, at Brooks Brothers? I put a lot of my effort in trying to change the system and to make these films. And that I'm sure those in charge don't like that part, but they do like the part where I make them money, and they're convinced. This is what I really think it is. They're convinced that the people out there, the people watching this on TV, even if they see my movie, they're not going to revolt. They're not going to stand up. They're not going to get involved. They're so convinced that they have dumbed down and numbed the American public to a point of utter despair that they can't get off the couch to become active politically. And they have made a huge mistake letting me on TV and putting my films in theaters and publishing my books. And I'm so grateful for that.
I might have made a terrible mistake putting you on TV, but
Don't you know that's rule number one? Never put me on live.
I like you on live. It's dangerous, unpredictable. But I just want to pin you down on one thing.
Work tomorrow.
I need you to admit the bleeding obvious. I need you to sit here and say, I'm in the 1%. Because it's important.
Well, I can't, because I'm
the
not.
validity of your argument. You are that.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
You're not in the 1%?
Of course I'm not. How can I be in the 1%?
Because you're worth millions.
No, that's not true. Listen, I do really well. I do well. But what's the point, though? Isn't that...
It's because I find it more interesting if you're in the 1%, because I think you probably are, you qualify, that you are railing against a lot of capitalist ideals.
Well, then, if you believe that about me, then that's really something, isn't it?
No, I'm asking if you accept
that even though I do well, that I don't associate myself with those who do well. I am devoting my life to those who have less and who've been crapped upon by this system. And that's how I spend my time, my energy, my money on trying to upend this system that I think is a system of violence. It's a system that's unfair to the average working person of this country. And it was a mistake to ever give me a dime from the day Time Warner actually gave me money to buy Roger and Me.
Eventually.
No, but this place essentially was where I began.
Let's go to somebody who is in the 99.
I hope they rue the day that they ever allowed me up on the movie screens.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah.